Hey guys, Caleb here. Hope you're doing well. God bless you. Um, I want to talk about comedy stuff. I think I should start negative, start positive. I'll go with I'll start not so positive, and then I'll go positive. Well, just my opinion. There's some comedians that do this like, no, wait a minute. I changed my mind. No, I'll stay with. I didn't just pick. Okay, I'm picking. All right, I'm going with some comedians, and I can name a few, and I will name a few because I don't wish harm on them. I want the best for them. I want them to do their best. Um, and to me, it's like it harms their comedy. Uh, but I'm trying to find a good hat. Um, I'm talking about. It's pretty good. Um, when comedians do like a fake laugh sort of thing. And I get it, like sometimes it does add something if it's just like a little laugh, like it kind of, I don't know, you feel like you're in on the joke with them, and it's even funnier. But the ones, I'm not talking about like a little laugh or something. I'm talking about the ones that go like do some sort of real high pitched. I can't. It's too cringy for me to. Maybe I'll try to do it just to show people. Should have got some clips, but um, like do that sort of after their joke, or after they say it, and they're like talking like this. Um, Two examples I can think of. Again, I have love for these guys, and I wish the best for them and everything. But Bert Kreischer seems to be the worst offender of this. He'll go into this like almost like cry laughing face, and he'll be talking with like a really high pitch and saying something. And to me, it's like he has that Russian train story is like phenomenal. I think it's very entertaining and it's funny and interesting. He doesn't need to do that. I can't remember if he does it in that story or not, but I've heard him do it on like definitely on podcasts before. Um, and I don't. It seems like he's trying to force the humor, like force people into this sort of like let's all laugh together type of thing. And like this must be funny, right? Like I'm cracking up. So, and sometimes laughter isn't contagious, so maybe that's what he's kind of going for. Um, but it just feels like it really turns me off, and I'm guessing other people feel the same way as me. I know at least some people don't like this, and I think it does more harm than good. But you know, he's a professional comedian. He's been in front of crowds for a long time, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it actually does help. And uh, you know, uh, I don't know. Maybe it helps him sort of get through something that's not really that funny, and so to kind of keep the overall crowd with him. You know, most people kind of just are along for the ride as opposed to. Um, I feel like most people are like group laughers, so maybe that's why he's just trying to keep the spirits high or something. I don't know. I would like to talk to him about it. The second one being Pete Holmes, and I really love Pete Holmes. Again, I really love Bert Kreischer too, but Pete Holmes, uh, he does this sort of he does this bit about McDonald's that he says like he was at a party and he said that's so McDonald's, and I'm questioning if this is a real. It seems so outlandish, like that can't be a real story, but maybe it is. But even if it is, then I to me it's not funny. It's just like it's a real problem. Like how do you get to that point? I don't know. I, well, I just laughed at myself there, but that was a genuine laugh. And maybe their laughs are genuine. It doesn't. They do not seem genuine. Seem like they're forcing. I think especially with Pete doing that bit on stage and laughing. I know you can't hear the same joke a billion times and tell the same joke so many times and still laugh. So it must be fake. And again, I've heard Pete actually say like this sort of quote that he heard from Bill Cosby, pre-Bill Cosby accusations. Like Bill Cosby would say, like, "Get on the plane," and is a metaphor for like let's all like get in a good mood and laugh together. And actually, I went to Pete Holmes' taping of his old show, and there was, I know they do this for a lot of shows, but it's like they have applause signs, and they like try to get people laughing at every single thing, and it's just like, I suppose that's another reason for people going to podcasts and like other shows because you can make or just videos online or whatever because it doesn't have to be. You don't have to force this like mediocre humor or bad humor just to kind of keep the engine going for a half hour or hour and a half every day. You can just wait until you have something really funny and then put it out. Anyway, I'd like to hear if other people feel the same way about like the forced laughter and things. It just really puts me off. I don't want to watch anymore. I like fake things. I'm a really big fan of Norm Macdonald, and he seems to like, if he does something fake, it's like part of the bit. It's not him trying to force something. Anyway, like I said, nothing but love for those guys, and love for everyone. Love for this next person I'm going to talk about. Taylor Tomlinson. I think she's fantastic. She does genuinely funny stuff, and she's pretty young, and I think not as good as John Mulaney, but I get a little bit of Mulaney kind of humor. That's a bit of the feel that I get from her, and I think Mulaney's one of the best, so that's a big compliment. And I think Amy Schumer pre-Giant fame. So I hope for Taylor Tomlinson that she sticks with putting out real quality stuff and not trying to force things. And I think that was and not just get stuck in like this loop of just fans that will laugh at anything. Probably mostly low IQ people who just will. When you get a big following, people are already ready to laugh. They're already sort of laughing. They're already in a laughing mood. But the really funny stuff is when is usually made in circumstances in which you have to win people over, and when you have to really put out stuff that just unconsciously makes people laugh, as opposed to, ah, that's funny, yeah. That stuff's like talking with your friends, and putting little comic comments into conversations. That's not laugh out loud, busting a gut, crying, holding my stomach, laughing, which is, to me, what you want every joke in your stand-up to be. I mean, I think that's what it is for quality over quantity. Everybody wants quality. Everybody wants quality. As much as people think they want quantity, no. You do want a large quantity of quality things. You don't want a large quantity of crap. So I feel like I'm kind of being a bit harsh, but I'm not. I just just don't usually say stuff like that. So anyway, I hope for the best for Taylor Tomlinson. I hope that she just like sticks with putting out really good quality stuff and strives to put even higher quality stuff out. And she seems very smart. God bless her. Yeah. Now that Norm Macdonald's dead, I hope find somebody else I really, really love comedy. Nick Swardson's probably my next. Him and Norm were tied for like my favorite people in comedy that were alive. Steve Carell, Will Ferrell also up there, but they're not so much stand-ups. And Nick's, I love Nick. His stand-up's not really my favorite. I would like to say my favorite stand-up bit of all time is Peanut Brittle. Gag Peanut Brittle by, I forgot the exact title of it, but it's like Peanut Brittle, Canned Peanut Brittle by Paul F. Tompkins. Fantastic. Also, I think, what's his name? Todd Glass is super underrated comedian. I think he's super funny. I posted on Reddit, like asking people how to be a great manager, because I was thinking about being like a manager for comedians. I thought that'd be good and trying to help comedians out and help the comedy world, or what would be the best thing, maybe being like a comedy booker, or what could I do not being a comedian specifically. And they said like comedians' response on Reddit was like, make tech things so that they can do their own stuff. So I'm not like super tech inclined, so it didn't really help. But I don't know, maybe I can do some like comedy reaction stuff. I can do that. I don't think most stuff is funny. Most stand-up bits. So, yeah, I don't know. This eye, like, kind of sinks down. Maybe I should get surgery on it. Anyway, I guess that's about all I can think of. Comment if you know any great comedy. Anything like Wanda Sykes or Jeff Dunham. On a serious note, I still think that I went back and listened to some of Dane Cook's like real early stuff, and I think it's severely underrated. It was hilarious, and there's a reason he blew up. He blew up a while ago, and you haven't heard from him much since then. But he got to this really famous point, and people kind of went against him. But I forgot what the CD was, but where he's like holding a sword, and he's like I think he has like red eyes or like a robot face or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the CD title. But he had a lot of like really great stuff. With like the BK Lounge, it's hilarious. And The Friend That Nobody Likes, super, super hilarious too. And one of the greatest sort of comedy TV shows maybe one of the best TV shows I ever saw was Louie. And I could tell it would be good from the beginning. I'd been saying for so long, like, look at the #1 TV show of all time. They just let the comedians make it. They just left them alone. And somehow nobody thought, hey, why don't we try this again? Nobody did that, seemingly, that I could tell since then. And even like I heard Jim Gaffigan talking on a podcast about how he had gotten a show, and then they like didn't let him take control of the joke writing. And this was like, I don't know how that is allowed. I would be like, no, I'm not going to say these stupid lines. But I guess when there's a lot of money at stake, and if you signed some sort of contract saying that that was the case, I would still think like the final decision would come down to him. Anyway, but it should have, and that's what I'm saying is like, I don't know why for so long. Only 10 years after Seinfeld went off, did they, I think around that time, or maybe a little after, did Louis come out? Louis C.K.'s show. And since then, yeah, no, Baskets came out, started kind of slow, but then it got really good. I didn't see the last season or two or whatever, but there were some really excellent episodes in that. And I don't know, a bunch of other comedians got shows. And I don't think any of them were as good as Louis, but yeah. Or Baskets. Speaking of Baskets, one of my favorite TV characters ever was um, Louis Anderson, who played his mom. Just phenomenal. Super nice, kind lady, loving. Really, really, really one of my favorite characters of TV of all time. Anyway, trying to think now. Talking about TV shows and episodes and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it. Something else with comedy. I applied to work at the new comedy club that Adam Egget and Adam, no, not Adam, Joe Rogan are supposedly starting in Austin. Messaged Adam Egget, didn't get back to me. But what are you gonna do? I was gonna say something else, but forgot. Anyway, hope you have a good one. This was somewhat interesting. God bless. Take care. Love you.